breaking news just in, a major smackdown for superstar Chris Brown. Just moments ago, a judge ordered Chris to be held in jail behind bars for at least a month until his next court hearing.
Safety net. And when he's not in the program, I have concerns about the defendant's ability or inability to stay out of trouble pending the formal hearing. So with regards to your request that the defendant be released to a different program, that request is respectfully denied. The defendant is remanded, no bail pending the hearing.
Wow, look at his expression. No bail, remanded, pending the hearing. That's at the end of April. Up until now, the infamous rapper, who is, by the way, reportedly worth $250 million, hasn't really had any punishment for his actions. It all started, of course, with Rihanna. You remember the famous or infamous photo. He's still on probation for severely beating his superstar ex-girlfriend to a pulp 5 years ago. And, you know, that's a glossy image of it. It's really bad when you see the real photo. Chris pled guilty and was lucky enough to get probation. But then he was arrested again just last fall for allegedly punching a guy in the face. So his hotshot attorney, Mark Garagos, we all love, stepped in and got him into rehab to help with his anger management. So he was lucky again. But then he was kicked out of rehab back in November for throwing a rock at his mother's car after a family therapy session. So he checked into a different rehab and actually finished a 90-day stint. So far, so good. Then the judge said, wait a second, you're not done yet. Go back for another month. Well, Chris then allegedly broke the rules, and he just got kicked out of that rehab on Friday. So the judge said to him today, just a little while ago, hey, Chris Brown, you're out of luck. You are doing at least a month in jail behind bars until your next hearing. We've reached out to Chris Brown's camp and have not heard back. Straight out to the Lion's Den, Kendra G. Wow. All I can say is wow. Here he is. We'll show him in court with Jailhouse Orange. He's worth $250 million. He's a Grammy-winning music mogul. And look, you know, he looks like an average defendant behind bars here. It's a shocker.
It is a shocker. You know what makes it even worse? Did you know that Rihanna, his ex-girlfriend, and Drake are probably somewhere making passionate love, drinking champagne, laughing at this? It breaks my heart. On one end, I feel like, okay, Chris Brown, go to jail. This will teach you a lesson. On the other hand, I'm like, another black guy in jail, so talented, you know, but he does belong in jail because I'm hoping this will finally teach him that he just cannot go crazy. I'm still mad at him for throwing that rock at his mama's car. He should have got smacked in the face for that one. But, you know, it's a sad situation, Jane.
It is a sad situation. I've always rooted for him. But, you know, at a certain point, I'm also happy that judges in L.A. are finally cracking down on somebody. We're going to get to that in a second. Now, what did he do wrong? We'll get to that as well. Chris is a very talented guy. I mean, he's a Grammy-winning music legend.
Turn up the music, I need it in my life, yeah. Turn up the music, just turn it up, yeah. Turn up the music, I need it in my life, yeah.
He's a guy who should be on top of the world. This has to be super embarrassing for him. Here's what he got kicked out for, John Murray, editor-in-chief, alwaysalist.com, refusing to take a drug test, which his attorney pointed out he later took, and the result was negative. Touching elbows with a female patient, physical contact with female patients, prohibited for Chris Brown. And apparently, I think you're not supposed to be doing that kind of stuff in rehab. And apparently, he made a provocative comment during a group therapy session saying, quote, I am good with guns and knives, end quote. Well, that could sound like a threat, possibly, John Murray.
It sounds like a lot of things. And I mean, look, the fascination with the women in the rehab, we shouldn't be shocked by that. I mean, we talked about on this very show how he made confessions of him losing his virginity at 8 years old. The guy loves sex. But Chris is the poster child for one of the things that we haven't dealt with in the African-American community, which is mental illness. It's been 4 years since the Rihanna incident, and we're just finding out that he's bipolar disorder, has post-traumatic stress disorder, and several other conditions, and that he's self-medicating, but not according to what the mental illness treatment should be. Chris needed mental help a long time ago. He's unwell. So yes, he broke the law. He should be in jail, but we need to heal this guy and use him as an example of how we can help other young black men.